Greetings, greetings. Welcome to today's broadcast. Grand Rising, regardless of what time of day it is, where you are joining from, I welcome you to this broadcast. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a spiritual healer. I am your why and soul purpose coach, consultant, facilitator, and mentor. I work with my clients in getting them to connect with their inner blueprint for success. And by so doing, they are able to live their lives with purpose and passion. So, again, come on in, invite a friend or two. This morning, we are going to be talking about how ready are you for your success. I I encourage you to interact and share your idea. I welcome those of you who are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Also, my family over there on TikTok. Welcome, everybody. It's an it's a may it is an amazing day, and this is a day we have never seen before. So let us embrace that day with every zeal and vitality that we have. If you are new to my community, please kindly kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. And once you do that, you're able to gain access to all of my content that is on my page. Yesterday, I was thumbing through and I said, oh my heavens, I didn't even realize I've had so many videos on YouTube. I have some videos that have been posted there for 6 years plus. That is as far as I got yesterday. So I've been on this journey for a while, and I believe in impacting lives, and this is why there's always a big smile on my face every day when I show up here. I want to remind you to get your water because we will be doing the water therapy at the end of the teaching. And on Sunday, this Sunday coming is what? I think it's the 13th. Please save the date on the time. At 7 p.m., I will be broadcasting with a colleague, Brittany Porter. We'll be doing some soul sessions on TikTok. It will be a dual host, so save the date so you can join us. You can join on my page, exactly where you are, Daphne Clarke-Hudson 1, and also on Brittany page. We are getting ready to rock this. I am really looking for the conversation. She invited me to be a guest on her podcast, and that will be aired through her both our TikTok pages. So please save the date for Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I am really looking forward to seeing you there to be part of the conversation. We're going to be talking about authenticity and all of that, resilience, the whole gamut. We are going to be covering some real stuff that folks are struggling with. Okay, so continue sharing the live and invite, even if you share with two individuals. If all of you share with two other people, before we know it, we'll have a lot of people coming in from the For You page. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I do not take it for granted that you show up here each and every day, because guess what? You could be right under your comforter, keeping warm, or your electric blanket. And I know, yes, some of you are, but still, you turn your phone on so you can be part of this affirmation and confirmation and this conversation. So again, in gratitude for each and everyone who shows up. Now, I am going to be sharing from a few different articles to give you an insight into what others think about success and being ready. The first statement I want to share here comes from James Clear. James Clear. And he says, successful people start before they feel ready. Successful people start before they feel ready. Hey, good morning, Queen Janelle. Okay, I'm glad to see you, so you can moderate. Thank you. Hope you're feeling better this morning, Queen. So, I want you to keep that in your mind. For everyone who know that they ever say, I'm not ready yet, I'm going to wait, because some folks always find such. Why are you not a moderator? Do you? I thought you were. Do you want to be a moderator? Oh, would you like to be a moderator here? Oh, you're a moderator on All right, let me fix that, Queen. Thank you. You're a moderator on my backup. Okay, I just made you a moderator. Okay, so James Clear says, successful people always start before they are ready. So, if you have been hanging with me, please. If you have been around me any length of time, you can recall me saying, the important thing is to start. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to have everything perfect. Just start, and one step at a time, you get it in order. All right? So, I am going to read this verbatim because it is very important. And the reason I am sharing it, good morning, Queen, is because folks always come up with so much excuse. So I'm going to be sharing back and forth from these articles. If you are just joining, we are talking about, are you ready for your success? All right? So remember what James Clear says? Successful people always start before they are ready. Successful people always start before they are ready. All right? Now, this article was written in 1966. But I don't want you to focus on the date. I want you to pay attention to the content, because knowledge is never too old. When you decide you're building a library of information, you gather the information. So here is this story. In 1966, a dyslexic 16-year-old boy dropped out of school. With the help of his friend, he started a magazine for students who made money by selling advertisements to local businesses. With a little bit of money to get started, he ran the operation out of a crypt inside a local church. Are you hearing? Where there is a will, there is a way. I know this is meant for somebody, because you are always having an excuse why you can't start and do what you got to do. Hear this. The article continues. It says, 4 years, 4 years later, he was looking for ways to grow his small magazine, and started selling mail order records to the students who bought the magazine. The records sold well enough that he built his first record store the next year. After 2 years of selling records, he decided to open his own record label and record studio. Talk about building blocks. Talk about the building blocks. He didn't sit down and worry about where he was and what he was doing. He started stocking up his building blocks. Let's continue. He rented the recording studio out to local artists, including one named Mike Oldfield. In that small recording studio, Oldfield created his big hit, Tubular Bells, which became the record label's first release. The song went on to sell over 5 million copies. Are you hearing? Over the next decade, the young boy grew his record label by adding brands like the Sex Pistol, Cultural Club, and the Rolling Stones. Along the way, he continued starting companies and airline businesses, then trains, then mobile phones, and on and on. Almost 50 years later, there were over 400 companies. Under his direction. Tap the screen, guys. Share the live. Today, that young boy who dropped out of school and kept starting things Despite his experience and lack of knowledge, is a billionaire. His name is Sir Richard Branson. Have you ever heard of him? Virgin Airlines. Have you heard of Sir Richard Branson? He's the man with the curly hair. Have you ever heard of him? Did you know his story? He lived on his own private island. I want you to comment in the box and let me know if you know or ever read or heard of Sir Richard Branson. Do you know people's stories? Don't you ever call anybody out. Don't you throw anybody out. Did you ever know his story? People, I haven't heard of him, honestly. Listen, take your time. You could probably get out this live. Go in Google and put in Sir Richard Branson. And then you come back and join the live, because when you come back, you're going to be open to learning about it. I'm telling you guys, a lot of times we look around and we see folks who are doing some things, and we get into our attitude and we think they just got up and start experiencing success and accumulating wealth, and we really don't know their stories. Are you ready? Are you ready? You don't even need to be ready to start. Do you believe in yourself enough to start? And let's continue with Sir Richard Branson's story. How I met Sir Richard Branson. James Clare says, 2 weeks ago, I walked into a conference room in Moscow, Russia, and sat down 10 feet from Branson. There were 100 other people around us, but it felt like we were having a conversation in my living room. Showing up. He was smiling and laughing. His answers seemed unrehearsed and genuine. Have you ever heard the word authenticity before? Tap the screen and share the live. At one point, he told the story of how he started Virgin Airlines. A tale that seemed to capture his entire approach to business and life. Here's the version he told us as best I can remember it. I was in my late 20s. This is the story. Oh, I have heard of it, but didn't know the name until I went and looked. All right, so now you're ready to receive. Are you back? Are you ready to receive? Tap the screen, share the live, invite. I hope you're following everybody in here. Thank you for wanting the knowledge enough to go and research it and come back. I honor you for doing so. I honor you. All right? Here the story goes. I was in my late 20s, so I had a business, but nobody knew who I was at that time. I was headed to the Virgin Islands, and I had a very pretty girl waiting for me. So I was numb, determined to get there on time. At the airport, my final flight to the Virgin Islands was canceled because of maintenance or something. It was the last flight out that night. I thought this was ridiculous. So I went on a charter. I went and chartered a private plane to take me to the Virgin Islands, which I did not have the money to do. Then I picked up a small blackboard, wrote Virgin Airlines $29. You realize he paid $29 for the charter flight. Are you hearing? Are you listening? On it, and went over to the group of people who had been on the flight that I was canceled. I sold tickets for the rest of the seats on the plane. Hey, hey, hey. You see what I'm saying? He made lemonades out of his lemon. He sold tickets to the rest of the seat on the plane and used their money to pay for the charter plane. Creative, creative guys, creative. And we all went to the Virgin Islands that night. You see, he didn't sit there and curse out the airlines people. He tapped in, he got creative, and he made something work. Listen up, guys. I took this photo, and here is the photo he took at the airport. Here it is, guys. I'm not making this thing up. You see, when the Spirit gave me the topic to speak on, I went and do the research. And I know that people can relate with this because we sit down with too much excuse. I took this photo right after he told that story. And few moments later, I stood shoulder to shoulder with him. He's about 6 feet tall, and thank him for sharing some of his story with us. Sir Richard Branson, during the conference of the panel in Moscow. The habits of successful people. After speaking with our group, Branson sat on a panel with industry experts to talk about the future of business. As everyone around him was filling the air with business buzzwords and talking about complex ideas for mapping out our future, Branson was saying things like, screw it, just get on and do it, which was closely followed by, why can't we mine asteroids? As I look up at that panel, I realized that the person who sounded the most simplistic was also the only one who was a billionaire, which prompted me to wonder, what's the difference between Branson and everyone else in the room? You see, guys, it's not about all the hyphenated fluff. Keep it simple and just do you. Be you. Yesterday I was talking about be you, do you. That is what James Clear is affirming here. You don't have to be worrying about you don't go to college. Did you know this billionaire drop out of school with dyslexia? Did you know that? You all need to stop all the mess and get up and do it. He's that way, I think, makes all the difference. Branson doesn't merely say things like, Branson doesn't merely say things like, screw it, just get up and do it. He actually lives his life that way. He drops out of school and starts a business. He signs the Sex Pistol to his record label. Then everyone else say they are too controversial. He charters a plane, then he doesn't have the money to pay for it. Then everyone else blanks or comes up with a good reason for why the time isn't right. Branson gets started. He figures it out to stop procrastination and take the first step if it seems outlandish. I wonder if you guys are hearing. I wonder if you're understanding the magnitude of what you are hearing. Are you blessed to be part of this conversation now or what? You are divinely sent here. Do you understand that? Start now. Branson is an extreme example, but we could all learn something from his approach. If you want to summarize the habits of successful people into one phrase, it's this: successful people start before they feel ready. If there was ever someone who embodied the idea of starting before they feel ready to do so, it's Branson. The very name of his business empire, Virgin, was chosen because then Branson and his partners started. They were virgins. When it came to business, Branson has started so many businesses, venture, charities, expeditions, but it's simple not possibly for him to have felt prepared, qualified, and ready to start all his business then. In fact, it's unlikely that he was qualified or prepared to start any of them. He had never flown a plane and didn't know anything about the engineering of planes. But he started an airline company anyway. He is a perfect example of why the chosen ones choose themselves. If you were working on something important, then you'll never feel ready. A side effect of doing challenging work is that you are pulled by excitement and pushed by confusion at the same time. You're bounded to feel uncertain, unprepared, and unqualified. But let me assure you of this: what you have right now is enough. You can plan, delay, and revise all you want. But trust me, what you have now is enough to start. It doesn't matter if you are trying to start a business, lose weight, write a book, or achieve any number of goals. Who you are, what you have, and what you know right now is good enough to get going. We all start in the simple place: no money, no resources, no contacts, no experience. The difference is that some people, the winners, just start anyway. No matter where you are in the world, and regardless of what you are doing, regardless of what you are working on, I hope you will start before you feel ready. So I was touched by this, written by James Clear. James Clear writes about habits and decision of making continuous improvement. He's the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller book, Atomic Habits. So you want to read more of his work, you can find it there. I think it was very important for me to share this information with you this morning, because there are too many of us that put our success on hold, waiting to get everything in order, waiting to have the perfect credit, waiting to have the bank account, and we're waiting. I hope you can hold Sir Richard Branson in your consciousness every day for the rest of your life until you decide to start. Not only are some of you waiting to start your businesses, Many of you are waiting to start your healing process as well. Many of you are waiting to work on your limited mindsets. Many of you are waiting to get out of the abusive relationships that you are in to enjoy a more rewarding life. And the list goes on. All you got to do is to start. All you must do is start. Everything we have right now is enough. Every single thing we have now is enough to start. I hope that those of you who are blessed to be here live, I hope you got something out of this conversation. And for those of you who are coming back and you are retrieving this on the replay, leave your comments in the comments box so we can see what your thoughts were. And make sure, set your goal to go and read up about Sir Richard Branson. There is a Sir Richard Branson in each and every one of us. The issue is, are we ready to expose him? Are we ready to birth all the things that's inside of us? When you get discouraged, when you begin to worry, when you begin to become fearful, I want you to think back on that boy with dyslexia that dropped out of school and started in that basement of a church. He did what he had to do, and look at him now. He's no longer in the basement. He has his own island. I know colleagues, I belong to an organization named AFES. And I know people from AFES who consult to go for a VIP day with Richard Branson, to go and to be mentored by him for one day. And they pay in excess of $20,000 to go glean from his wisdom for one day. They fly to his private island. And when they come back and share their experience, we got to go after what we want. We have to go after what we want. Hey, William, how are you? Great to see you, King. Great to see you. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. I was just sharing the information about Sir Richard Branson and his story, how he started. I am here to tell you, remember, successful people start before they feel ready. I want us all to go out and acquire a pair of blinders that will keep us focused. Keep us focused on what we are supposed to be doing. Everything you and I need, we already have. And we are enough, guys. Stop coming up with ridiculous excuses. Again, there is a Sir Richard Branson in all of us. Let's begin to channel his spirit in us. We are not looking to be comparing ourselves with him, but we want to channel his spirit in us so he can ignite the desire in us. So we can begin to write our own stories. Are we willing to go the distance? Are we willing to say yes to that thing that we've been suppressing for so long? Are we willing? Enough is enough. It's time to get off of the sidelines. It's time to get off the sidelines. Step up. Do what is needed. Say yes to you. Say yes to birth. There are too many of you that have been impregnated for so long. Some of you have been having labor pains, but guess what? You never get into the delivery suite to birth what you're pregnant with. I hope you realize that today your contractions are more frequent. Those of you who are mothers, you know when the contractions get more frequent, it's time to rush to the hospital. Or for those of you at home, it's time to call the doodler. I want you guys to just bring these things down so you can understand and relate to them. All right? Guys, please get your water and let's do the water therapy. For those of you who are new to my community, water is energy. And each and every day for, oh gosh, so many years, the water therapy has become part of my daily ritual. So what is it you need from the water? Ask. Let your request be known. Today, I request that every ounce of this water will go directly to all the systems that my body comprises of. It will go to my organs. And any disease that is in my body, it will be flushed out. I ask for insight. I ask for clarity. I ask for strength. I ask for optimum health. These requests are released, and I know they will be granted, and so it is. Bless your water, and let's drink. And so it is. All right, all right. So today is what? Friday. So one more day, Saturday, and then I'm off for Sunday. I want to thank each and every one of you from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you guys for showing up. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning again when I will come back, and it's always my pleasure to serve you. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe. If you forget every place I am, I'm Googleicious. So just Google me and you will see everywhere that I'm hanging out. Love you guys. Stay blessed. And remember, Everything that you do need, you already have. So stop making excuses and start now. Love you. I'm Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, spiritual healer, why and soul purpose coach, consultant, facilitator, and mentor. And I'll see you on my next broadcast. Bye.